I do want to get to the current state, but first I want to talk about Dale's retirement. Again, Kelly, I mean, we all have our vantage points during that year, 2 years. I mean, you had the concussion. What do you both remember in terms of the licensing situation there and the preparation for life after racing for Dale?
Well, Joe had a lot of, Joe, not just with Dale, but has had a lot of, not only during Joe's tenure here, managing Dale Jr.'s licensing, we also then became the manager of Hendrick Motorsports' licensing. So we did Jeff Gordon and Jimmy Johnson and so on and so forth, right? So we were doing a lot of that work for the past many years. In addition to that, Joe talked in the first episode about SMI and ISC purchasing Action Performance.
Oh, which was Fred Waganoff.
Which was Fred's company. Joe took a 9-month hiatus.
Yeah.
And went to work literally in the offices at what did they call the company then? Motorsport Authentics. Yeah.
Well,
okay.
That's a big deal.
It's a big deal. So he goes to do that. So my whole point in this is that he had exposure to the Tony Stewart retirements. I mean, he worked with Penske and what they were doing. Like, he strategically tried to manage the industry while managing our stuff, but manage the industry so that we were all aligned, even though people were doing their own things. And so he had exposure to the Jeff Gordon retirement, the Tony Stewart retirement, and so on and so forth. So I think, a conversation about these drivers retiring in general is a big deal, and then especially Dale Jr.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
As it relates to licensing.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of pitches. I had a lot of plate appearances. But you go back to Dale's retirement, and you were part of it as well, Kelly, the thought process and the attention to details and the lead time, just as his announcement, were done in his retirement. So, we embraced and amplified every opportunity in conjunction with the marketing layout, with the whole plan of how you guys were going to execute his retirement tour. Our job was to complement that with licensed product along the way. If he's a certain track and there's a certain tribute to a track, well, we would add event track merchandise, and all the way through it. So probably, so you had that 08, and there's this little thing in 210 when he won in the 3 car that really helped the industry.
Oh, man.
So I'm thinking about things that helped the industry, and then that was really probably the last big lick that helped the industry on that. But it was done the same methodology that 07 did, and you were really part of a lot of that. But you controlled the pace because the storyline and the marketing and how we were going to do this then and that then. My job's come behind you with it.
Well, I got to be honest. It was one of the benefits of really having Hendrick Motorsports as a partner. Jesse Essex was just, I can't even begin to describe how instrumental he was in that, that whole team over there, working with Marshall. We built a tour. We built a marketing campaign around his retirement.
Exactly.
It was that appreciation tour.
Yeah.
Which we felt was part of the Dale Jr. vibe, right? Like he's not going to be one of those guys that wants to go to the track, receive his gifts, get his moment to shine. He would want to actually generate all that attention back to the people who made it possible for him, which was the fans, right? And so that's what we built on, and and I thought it worked, right? I thought it worked well. And I thought that it gave you also an opportunity to,
I loved how it ended. So you're going through this, and I get an airplane. I go back to QVC. I say, I got to see you.
We haven't even talked about QVC.
No,
those were some massive moments.
Yeah, because QVC used to be a big part of it.
Oh, my gosh.
Big part of us.
Yes.
I got on a plane. I went up there. You got to give me the time of day and get Dan and all that. And I went up there, and I told him what we're doing. And I said, yeah, I know you got to hit this and that. I said, but we're going to do $2 million. You going to do $2 million? I said, yeah, man, that's what we're going to do. We'll come down for $2 million. And they did come down, and it was at Exalta Studios because Hendrick was, I'm glad you brought up.
That was the first QVC show that we did in forever.
Long.
I mean, we used to do QVC. I was on QVC selling product.
That's right.
Back in the
Yeah.
2000s, early 2000s.
Early 2000s. They
Yeah.
would do 3 or 4 a year,
Yeah.
I thought.
Yeah.
You know.
The last one probably was at QVC. I mean, at Whiskey River.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
he got mad at me for a Cabbage Patch doll.
Yeah, that's right. Real side, 'cause I do want to get back to the Exalta and the tea, but that is such a good point. I can't believe we glossed over the QVC stuff. We did 2 or 3 a year, if I remember this right. I remember doing one out here in the front parking lot of Junior Motorsports.
Yeah.
I'm talking a television production with audience.
Yeah.
Rows of chairs, people coming in, watching, a stage, lights, cameras, the whole thing. We would do these QVC shows. But Dale Jr. fans listening to this right now remembers them, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And so how much, before we get to the fun little things that would be a little bit of a bump in the road, we'll call them, QVC must have moved a lot of product.
Tremendous amount of product. And they did it the right way. They wanted the timing. It's all timing and planning and storylines. And then they would pick the merch and they take their position on the merch, and then they just go sell it. And then you just sit back and watch it, and it's a drug, man. It's like, man, like you're scoring 100 points.
But did you
You're able to watch the little ticker in the corner, as it went up.
Yeah.
but like now you get to be able to make this merch without getting all the red tape and approvals that came with DEI. But then you run into a situation where Dale Jr. is on stage, and then they go and put up some product that he is seeing for the first time.
Cabbage Patch didn't make it.
He would get upset from time to time about things like that because, we approved everything internally and whatnot. And there would be occasions where maybe he didn't like his face the way it looked on something, or it was a quirky product. I remember we even went to the point of making like bathroom accessories, so we had like, your toothbrush holder and your trash can. And I mean, there were some quirky things that some he didn't ever know about. And then some things like the Cabbage Patch doll came out.
I bet they sold.
But do you know how collectible they are? Yeah, like they were truly collectible.
Hey, I took my beating and I laughed and moved on.
The one I remember of him really kind of giving us static about was calendars. Like he's like, nobody uses calendars anymore. Who pins up a calendar? Ain't nobody does a calendar. We're like, they keep selling out.
A lot of those garages across America.
A lot of those people.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
Hey, if you like that video, like and comment below. And don't forget to subscribe so you'll never miss another piece of Dirty Mo Media content.